CES is one of the biggest tech events of the whole year, and it just ended a few days ago. In this video, I want to show you some of the stuff that we found at least interesting. Let's begin. Before we start, don't forget to check our channel for even more content like this. A like, a share and a subscribe would also be very helpful, and if you're a music industry professional looking forward to expand your career, check our brand new platform, thetalentuniverse.com. Now let's get back to our video. So we selected 10 things that we think are useful and that are actually innovating, and we will start with the monitor. 1. The Alienware 27 AW2725DF. This is a gaming monitor and as a matter of fact is the fastest QD-OLED gaming monitor. It packs a superb 27-inch QHD display and, take a breath, a 360Hz refresh rate. That's insane. Now, the refresh rate, simply put, is the amount of times a panel can refresh in a second. So in this case, 360Hz means that this display, this monitor, can refresh 360 times in a single second. The monitors which are not made for gaming, take the office monitors for example, will have a standard of a 60Hz refresh rate, and that's completely fine, but for a gamer, the higher the refresh rate, the smoother the game experience will be. This one actually has a VESA Display HDR400 True Black certification. And it's also very responsive, and this is important for esports for example. It has a response time of only 0.1 milliseconds and it comes with an AMD FreeSync Premium Pro certification. So I have no doubt that the games will look amazing on this monitor. Moving to the next one, we actually remain at the Alienware stand, and we will be talking about the Alienware AW3225QF. This is the first 4K QD-OLED monitor, and it also supports the Dolby Vision HDR standard. It has the same VESA certification as the previous one, a refresh rate of 240Hz, which is still amazing, and a peak brightness of 1000 nits, so yeah, it is quite bright. Don't worry, we will talk about all of these terms in a separate video. 99% DCI-P3 color coverage, the same 0.1 millisecond response time, and it's also compatible with NVIDIA G-Sync, as well as VESA Adaptive Sync. Next one on the list is the Asus ZenBook Duo 2024. This one is quite interesting and one of my favorites actually. First things first, I love the fact that Asus is trying to provide something different, something new every year. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, but at the same time, they can come up with something really cool and really useful. Like this laptop. First, it comes with two 14-inch screens, OLED, yeah, so very good panels, very good color, infinite contrast, blah blah blah. But here's the catch, you can attach a keyboard over the secondary screen in case you don't want to use it. It is modular and I love this about it. You want a normal laptop? Fine, just put a keyboard on and there you go. You want to be more productive? Sure, just detach the keyboard and now you have two screens to work with. And they're also very good screens, yeah, certifications over certifications. And also you got enough power inside of it for pretty much every task that you need, or at least most of them. Thumbs up Asus, we love it. Okay, we get into the audio stuff now. And we start with JBL Authentics 500. Fill any room with cutting edge sound and striking retro style with the JBL Authentics 500. This one actually got the Best of Innovation award, and I was curious why. I mean, yeah, it looks good, it brings up the retro design, but at the same time, that's quite an old design, if you know what I mean. You see, the main issue that a speaker like this has is the bass control, or the bass play. The low frequencies are very hard to control anyway, I said it many times. At the same time, it is really hard to play them accurately, especially in a form factor like this. Apparently this one comes with aluminum tweeters which are patented slipstream bass port. So in theory it should be quite accurate, especially in that low end zone, which is a big problem with a lot of speakers actually, and not just speakers but headphones as well. Companies just tend to like tune the bass a lot, so like boom 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 in your ears, but most of the times it doesn't sound like how it's supposed to sound. And if it does that in a form factor like this, worth the money, no matter the price. Next one, Audio CU. Now, if you ask me, I would have given the best of innovation award to this one, because it does a very interesting thing. So imagine you want to make like a home theater, yeah? Something with a 5.1 or 7.1 or something like that. You need quite a lot of cables to connect all of your speakers to the main source, like the transceiver, if you want. This technology is making that possible through your power outlets. I'm still getting my head around it on how it works and where it can get, but in theory you have a transceiver which is connected to the TV and then to the power outlet, and then you have a receiver which is connected to the speaker and to the power outlet obviously. Then the transceiver and the receiver will communicate between them through the power circuits that you have in the house. It kind of blows my mind if I'm thinking about it, but if it has a good sound quality and if it works like seamless and flawless without any issues whatsoever, no words. As far as I'm concerned though, the signal that flows through a power circuit in a house is at around, depending on the region obviously, 50 or 60 hertz. And you can't really put a lot of information in a signal like that. So I guess that you have some modulation going on and some really intelligent algorithms which are made by some really intelligent people going on there. I have so many questions about it, but I'll do a research and I'll come back with a video if you want. Next one up in the queue, the Time Kettle X1 Interpreter Hub. If this one works as advertised, yeah, we don't have any more language barriers out there. Basically, it is a handheld translator, but a special one. So it comes with 2 earbuds, yeah? Now imagine, you take one, the other person takes the other one. Then you start to have a conversation, you start to talk basically. You say a sentence, the earbud will pick it, and it will be automatically translated and played in the other person's ear in their language in an instant. Well, almost instant, but fast enough that it won't bother you. That's amazing. And I remember visiting countries like Italy or maybe Spain, and not all the people know English there. Because it's normal, it's not mandatory to know English, and I know that something like this would be very useful. I would use something like this. And you might bring the hygiene argument, yeah? Like, you talk with 10 different people will wear the same earbud. Fine, you have a speaker, so you can use that. Very cool. 10 out of 10 if it works properly. Number 7, Hisense 110UX. This is a mini LED TV. A 110-inch mini LED TV to be more precise. This is basically a wall, not a TV. Not the biggest that's been exposed there. You have Samsung with 140 inches or TCL with 115, but the catch with this one is that it has over 40,000 dimming zones. That's insane. Now let me explain what a dimming zone is. So think about it. You have a very big TV, yeah? When you split the TV into dimming zones, you basically have a lot of portions which will illuminate differently. So in this case, you'll have 40,000 zones which will have different brightness at all times. This helps with the contrast a lot because this is not an OLED display, this is a mini LED. So you'll have backlight. You won't have every single pixel illuminating itself. So the dimming zones are a must-have on a display like this. And also it helps with the HDR content. You need to understand that HDR, or high dynamic range, and contrast are some of the most important things on a TV panel. You'll probably watch a lot of movies on a TV like this, so yeah. Now, another interesting thing on this specific TV is that it has a peak brightness of 10,000 nits. That's insane. I don't even know if you can look at it at 10,000 nits. Probably it reaches that in high dynamic range, but who cares? It can go up there. They also say that it has a color gamut of 95% BT.2020. To be fair with you, I'm waiting to see some reviews of it because I'm quite curious. It seems like a very good TV. Next one is called LG Stand By Me Go LX5. In essence, this is a portable 27-inch monitor, or a 27-inch tablet, I guess. Apparently it has some apps which are supposed to be useful when you are away from home or on a trip or something like that. They even have a photo on their website with the monitor on a beach for some reason. Seems like you can connect it to Disney Plus or Apple TV, Spotify, YouTube, stuff like this, but I don't know if it can do more than that. I haven't even found the processor specification on their website, only the picture processor, which is called Alpha 7 AI Processor Gen 5, so I don't know. Seems like a good concept to me. I mean, just think about the fact that you have a 27-inch monitor on the go, and you can watch quite a lot of stuff on it. But the price, $1,200 American dollars. And yeah, it's a lot, especially for something like that, but you pay for the concept. And the concept is not bad at all. So who knows, in the future, maybe we will see more monitors like this. We stay with LG because the next one is a new version of LG Gram. And we talk about LG Gram Pro 2-in-1. Now, these laptops are very interesting. Obviously, it's not just one laptop, it's a series and you have more variants of it. But the main takeaway of these laptops is that they are very, very thin. As in, this model, the Gram Pro 2-in-1, is just 12.4 millimeters in thickness. There were times when phones used to be thicker than that and only 1.4 kilograms in weight, and they still managed to fit a 3050 inside that thing. So not only it's light, it's thin and it's good looking, but it will also be a good performer. Not the best, obviously, but if you pair that 3050 with a decent processor and 32 gigs of RAM, you will be able to do quite a lot of stuff on it, including music production, some photo and video editing, even though I'm not sure that the newer models, the 2024 ones, are coming with OLED displays. I only could find information about the ones which are coming with IPS panels, but you still have the older models which are coming with OLED and they still have a good performance. And oh yeah, these laptops are coming with the newest Intel chips, the Intel Core Ultra processors, which are built on a hybrid architecture and they're supposed to be a good step up from the older generation, the Intel Core chips. But we'll see how they behave. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the SQPV glass by InQS. Now, this is a very cool technology. So I want you to imagine a transparent solar panel which is encapsulated between two sheets of conductive glass, which is called SQPV glass. Now, this technology will obviously take the direct light from the sun and it will generate electricity. However, it will also make a use of the invisible light, so you can have dim light overall or you can have clouds outside, for example. It will keep producing. And it's also more efficient. It uses both sides of the glass, which allows it to be mounted on buildings, for example, or perpendicular to the ground. This might actually be the answer to the older solutions. But we'll see how it goes. And we will see in time if it will get adopted or not. And this is our selection. I know it's just a tiny bit of what CES had to offer to us, but I'm happy to see that we still see innovations and some big leaps actually. And the good thing is that a lot of them have the customer in focus. They really bring more value to the customer. And this is nothing but a reason to enjoy. Now it's your turn to tell us what you found interesting at CES. No matter if you've been there or read on the internet or simply just looked on YouTube videos from tech reviewers. Let us know in the comments, we are curious to see. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it, I hope you found it not useful, but at least informative. Don't forget that a like, a share and a subscribe are very helpful for us and give us a lot of motivation. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye bye.